Welcome to the podcast, Appetite for Distortion, episode number 288. My name is Brando. Another episode you can watch on Zoom, another fan review episode. I wish I thought about doing this, when the reunion first started. I gave my reviews, but to have you, the AFD show listener, the GN'Roses fan, to be on the show, just gotten some great feedback, not just from the people who have been on, including Erik. You're what's this, your third time already? Do we sign a contract? Do I owe you money? For being
Maybe I owe you.
Sure. So Erik Peach, you're from Ohio. I forget the name of the town.
Iowa.
Oh, so
yeah.
Okay. I mean, I know Iowa. I was thinking it was one of those random small towns around it that I didn't know. So Iowa. So I have you've been on with you were one of my guest hosts for Ginger Baker, right? And Josh Todd, Buck Cherry.
Yeah.
Something else, which is something else that I do. If you're new to the podcast, I always get new listeners. Although, before I forget it, speaking of new, be sure to follow my new Twitter at the AFD podcast, because I don't know if you guys did this, and we'll talk about, because today's review is going to be of Fargo. I can't do the accent. Fargo, North Dakota. Kind of? No, that's pretty bad. That's not my forte, is doing accents. I hopefully you guys didn't share videos. I know you shared some pictures, but my old Twitter was shut down by sharing my own crappy quality videos. Whatever. It's my own fault for enjoying myself. It's fine. So Erik has been on as a guest co-host, which again, I do sometimes with all of you listeners, which is why it's important to follow on social media when I announce guests. Erik, you're so quick. You're like me. I'm available. I'll do it.
I'm always there.
I'm just happy that you're there for your girlfriend. And can you introduce yourself, by the way, since we know Erik already?
My name is Nikki Blado.
Hi, Nikki. How are you?
Des Moines, Iowa. I'm good.
Cool. So how long have you guys been together, if you don't mind me asking?
12 years.
Wow. Okay. All right. So the long haul. All right. Good job, Erik. Maybe you owe her money.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Yeah, probably.
All right, very cool. Very cool. So I thought, not just when Erik volunteered, because he says I'm going to the Fargo show, and this is something I encourage everybody to do as we knock on wood. Something else we'll keep talking about, this tour that's still going. People already like, hey, I'll do the LA date, I'll do the Phoenix date, I'll do the Baltimore date, messaging me. So continue to volunteer and to do that. But when Erik volunteered, I'm like, who are you going with? Erik's, you're great, but I want to give a little something different this time. And he's like, oh, I'm going with my girlfriend, Nikki. Perfect. Because as you guys have known, these past, the past 3 GN'R shows, including the one before COVID, I've gone with my fiance. So those were her first 3 GN'Roses shows.
Nice.
So while she likes GN'R, as I've discussed on the show, and maybe we'll get into more of it later, she's more of a Dave Matthews fan. She's that's her GN'Roses. So when you said you went with your girlfriend, I was curious about her allegiance to GN'R and what that dynamic was like. I see you're wearing a GN'R shirt, but are you as diehard as Erik? Is that something like an addiction that you've had to deal with over the
I am not quite as diehard as he is, but after the Fargo show, I don't know, I might be a little bit more diehard.
Okay, so were you, Erik, obviously you've been a GN'R fan your entire life, but when you guys met 12 years ago, like, do you mind me asking how you met? Did you meet at a concert, or was it any cool story behind how you guys met?
We met through a mutual friend, actually. He was coming to town to hang out with our friend, and we met and been together ever since.
Yeah, I was living in DC at the time, and then came out here to meet a friend for his grandmother's birthday and just to hang out, and then he introduced me to her.
Okay, that's nice. I forgot if I said this, and it is GN'R related. When I've been engaged and I've been with my fiance for over 3 years now, but when I finally gave into online dating. I wanted to meet somebody like you guys, me through a friend, and it just wasn't happening, especially with my job. So I did the online dating, and in my profile, one of the things that it said was hosts a Guns N' Roses podcast.
Yeah.
Not that like I'm it's nothing to brag about. Like, who gives a shit? To most people, but it was just intriguing enough for people to ask, the right kind of people. And she sat with,
Sure.
I remember our first date. My go-to, my thing was, I don't know if you had a, plan on your first date. There was a pizza place across from the radio station. I would always do that and be like, oh, I'll give you a tour of the radio station after, which would, not like, I don't think my girlfriend will listen to this. That was always my go-to date. And it worked on her also.
Wow.
But she stayed around to listen, happy to do a podcast. She's like, oh, can I stick around while you record? So anyways, that's why I'm intrigued to hear about your dynamic. So when did you first?
I remember you told that story to Susan Holmes McKagan. When you had her on the podcast, I remember hearing that story that you told her that.
You know more about the podcast than I do, Erik, I think. Because it's like, I know I told the story to somebody, and was it on the air? And again, always new listeners. So sorry for those who are boring with the same story. And for those who are new, and I could show you this Nikki, she made me this pillow. GN'R loves D&B.
Very nice.
And sorry, as I keep going, because I want to get this out there. Maybe you saw on social media that we're looking, we maybe next June we'll get married. It's hard to tell in this climate, kind of thing. We really don't care that much. Like, it'll happen when it happens. But the one thing we did settle on is if we could find a cover band that could play Guns N' Roses and Dave Matthews. I don't know if that's possible.
It's interesting.
Right?
It might be. It might be.
So actually, her being, somebody commented on my post with all these kind of cool mashups of Dave Matthews songs and GN'R songs, like "Don't Drink the November Rain" instead of like "Don't Drink the Water." Again, if you're not a Dave Matthews fan, I only know these songs now because of her. I've been forced to, and that's why I'm curious with you that if you were forced to like GN'R, it seems like you weren't. Okay, so I love her. I want to like Dave Matthews. It's just not happening. So I put it out there and it's been shared. So if anybody knows of if you play in a cover band that can do a good job at Guns N' Roses and Dave Matthews, hit me up. So anyway,
I'll keep my eyes open.
So I guess Nikki, when did you first notice that Erik had a problem? Meaning, like, when was he like obsessed with Guns N' Roses? When did you first notice that?
Oh, pretty early on. I mean, pretty early on. That's what he listens to. It's what he wears. So I have a hard time when I get my Guns N' Roses t-shirts because I don't think he owns anything that isn't Guns N' Roses. So I'm like, I can't wear mine because we can't be in that matching couple that goes out. So
That's funny.
yeah.
That is really funny. And I had which was weird. I dated this Canadian girl, and we met through Guns N' Roses. Like, that's a long, boring story. But she would always say, like, you wear too many band t-shirts. I should have known right away that she was not the one, and I should have broke up with her right then and there.
Awesome.
Yeah. but that makes me feel good, Erik, that you wear Guns N' Roses all the time, not just for this podcast.
No.
Oh, and by the way, for people who are watching, I'm not just a hipster douche wearing this bandana inside. I'm wearing it because it's from 2002, the MSG show with the Chinese.
So cool you were at that.
And I want people to be reminded because, we're reviewing Fargo today, but as we're putting this out last night, Montana happened. And hopefully I'll get a fan on to review Montana, but it's already news. So I want to talk about it now because it's relevant. But Wolfgang and Mammoth had to cancel. I think, Erik, actually, when you tagged me or I saw your tweet, you were the first one. I think you beat everybody to the punch other than Mammoth themselves. I saw that. And so wait, did you hear about what did Duff and Slash say on their XM show? Did you hear?
Oh yeah, yesterday's XM. He does that show every Friday morning at Two Chords and the Truth with Duff and Sue, and they played a Ramones song about something like stay away, and Susan said something to the effect of it's really hard touring right now. We're touring like a baseball team. Like you remember what happened to the Yankees, and she said we're just kind of keep everybody in a bubble and we stay away from everybody. We want to take pictures with you guys, we want to sign autographs, but we can't get anybody sick. And maybe that leads a little bit into when we were in Fargo, we were seeing the difference in the wristbands. like the local Fargo crew's wristbands were a little different than the crew. The crew had the badges, you know, the lanyards, and then the fans, we had ours. And, you know, they were saying that the local crew, they were all COVID tested and had to have a special band just to even talk or get close to the GN'R crew that was setting up the show, you know. So it sounds like they're really kind of keeping everybody away, which you know, it's unfortunate, but you know, if it keeps the show going, then you know,
You got to do what you got to do. That's why, you
Sure.
know, looking back, I mean, I'd like to think, I mean, who knows? I would know if I was sick by now. I mean, I got Pfizer, so I mean, even if I do get it, it wouldn't be that bad.
Sure.
But when I went to Hershey Park, there were no masks. I regret not putting on my Guns N' Roses appetite for a vaccination mask in the merch line where everybody was packed in. I should have done that. Slightly more masks I saw at MetLife. Still not a lot. I did wear my appetite for vaccination mask. It's in the laundry right now, which is why I'm just symbolically showing my my bandana. So you can just put
That's a
it up.
great one.
You know, just throw it up. It's not that big of a deal. I know it shouldn't be that big of a controversy, even if you're one of the people who don't believe or just afraid or whatever. Just think of other people, and you know, it's hopefully this is not the first domino, and that Mammoth was just
Right.
taking precaution. So that's why I maybe we're holding off on the Montana review. Maybe we don't know all the details yet with that. So I want to go to. So how long of a trip is it to Fargo? Because all I know about Fargo, which was illustrated on the lithograph on the poster,
Mhm. Yep.
designed by the brilliant Arian Bueller, who agreed he's going to come back on the podcast, I believe, for the 4th time.
That'd be
And
awesome.
he wants to do what we're doing right now, Erik, a Zoom interview. So like maybe he'll be in the studio. He can show us a bunch of his work. So how long of a trip is it from Ohio to Fargo? How long?
Iowa.
Iowa.
But it's 9 hours. It's a 9-hour drive. So the weekend before we were getting ready to go up there, he decided just 5 plane tickets. So we flew out there. So it only took 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah, we'd never been to Fargo either, and what a great city, great town.
So fun.
When he
We
says
actually had a blast.
cool, and when he says he wants to go to Fargo to see Guns N' Roses, is there any hesitation on your part? You know, you're just like, okay.
Nope. And definitely not after the show. I mean, we were right up front and it was amazing. It was so great.
What's the city like? Because again, all I know of it is from, you know, movies and the TV show and all the stereotype. Like, what was it? Can you describe
It's
at all?
Fun little city atmosphere. Their downtown was really nice.
Yeah.
We kind of drank our way through downtown on Tuesday. I mean, if there was a restaurant bar serving alcohol, we were there. And a lot of cool, super friendly, nice people, clean town.
Yeah, everybody there was super nice. I mean, like she said, we kind of just got there on Tuesday morning, you know, and made our way around town, went find something to eat, you know, went to all the local bars and restaurants and stuff, and you know, we stayed right across from the Fargo Dome, so it was easy to walk over there and check out the venue. And I think I sent you a couple pictures of it. You know, it was yeah, it was great. I mean, nothing was more than an $8 or $10 Uber ride.
Okay.
So yeah, it was I would go back there. Everybody was super friendly and it was fun.
How is the Fargo
Big
Dome?
Shout out to Vinyl Taco.
What about tacos? I missed that first part.
Vinyl Taco. It was this awesome little restaurant bar we were in, and they were great. I would go back to Fargo just to go there.
Considering Axel's love of tacos, depending upon what time of day you might have run into him or time of morning.
We were looking. We were definitely looking. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I was. I didn't know what to expect, but everybody asked me, you know, why are you guys here? What are you guys doing in town? I said, well, you know, we're here for the show. Oh, what show's that? Guns N' Roses. Oh, I didn't know they were here. I'm like, do you guys not have a rock radio? It was not really that well advertised. They sold it out, but it was the amount of bartenders, Uber drivers, restaurants, servers that, you know, they didn't know that Guns N' Roses were even in town, which surprised us.
That is surprising because what is going on in Fargo that's like they're not aware of Guns N' Roses coming to town. You know, I understand New York City where there's, you know, everything happening. Like, oh, what concert, what game, which one? But Fargo, all right, all right. But
Yeah.
you said it was. So do we know officially if it was sold out or was it close to? Because I know ticket sales in general, not just GNR wise, but band wise, have been difficult since the return of touring. So
Yeah.
it was full.
Oh, it was full. Yeah. We got there about 5. I think the doors were at 5. We probably got there about 5:30, and got down there. We walked right up to the rail. There was already quite a group of people up there, but you know, by the end, by the time GNR got on there, that pit was pretty full. It was pretty packed.
What
And I remember turning and looking around, and that place was pretty full.
and how is the Fargo Dome compared to other like arenas and stadiums you've
It's
been to?
nice. It's very
Yeah.
nice. They were well organized, except for the merchandise truck out front.
Yeah, the merch truck had a few hiccups, but yeah, it was well organized. It was everybody there knew where I was going, or you know, if I asked a question, where's the bathroom, where's the stairs? It was legit.
What happened with the merch truck? Because I know that's obviously a big deal to everybody. You know, I bought my shirts. Tell me about your merch excursion.
Well, they were supposedly going to open it at 3:30. There was one couple waiting there since 1. We got there about 2:30, I'd say.
Yeah, we went there probably around 11 and found it right across the parking lot from our hotel about 11, and he said they'd open at 2:30. So yeah, like she said, we came back around 2:30, and there was already a couple in line. Rick and Kim. Yeah. So
Kim's a huge GNR fan too.
yeah, we got a chit chat with them for about an hour until they opened it. But yeah, they had some problems with the internet and their POS system. So it was another probably hour that we got to stand in line and wait for the internet to come up and get our stuff and run it back to the hotel.
Well, you got to buy it legally because it just came out also in the news as we try to keep this as up to date
I
as
saw that.
possible. Yeah, the Guns N' Roses is suing for a bootleg merch.
Yeah.
So those are the dudes who are outside after. That's what they're referring to, or what do you?
That's what I'm guessing. Either that or those Chinese that are the Chinese junk that's on eBay.
Yeah, I gotta think so. Which makes me
Yeah.
wonder: are they gonna take back this ugly hat that I bought on Amazon?
Right.
Where are these made?
I love it.
They definitely came from a foreign country, but whatever. I spent enough money on them. I posted.
Right.
I got mine at the Lincoln show a couple years ago, so I'm good.
Like in Nebraska. So no more shirts. Like, what did you buy? Because they had some. Like, I'll just say, Nikki, for instance, like my fiance will just take my band shirts for the most part, but she's like, she saw the one meant for children. It happens to fit both of us. Whatever. It's the one that says "I survived Guns N' Roses."
Yes.
It's the teal one. And she's
Yep.
like, "Oh, I love that one." So even that one, you didn't want to get that one, or I got the orange sleeve, long sleeve, which is
That was a cool one.
I got the black long sleeved one with the bloody red bullet logo on the back.
okay. Nice.
Sweet. It didn't have anything on the front, so I didn't put it on for today. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Fair enough. No, I like that.
that's all I asked for. So
Yeah.
he bought me that, and he got himself like 5 shirts and lithographs.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff.
So you got the Fargo lithograph?
I did. And
Good.
I may have an extra that I could send to you.
He
I
got
mean,
me one too. He wants to be nice about it, but he got it for you.
I gotta send.
I
you-
did.
If you really did, I mean,
I did.
thank you. If
Yeah.
you don't know, Eric, I'm very terrible at receiving compliments and even worse at receiving gifts. Let me send you $50 for it because you
No.
know,
Nope.
No.
all right, well, we'll talk after. Thank you, because
Yeah.
that one was going. Wow, that one was. Do you have any stories? It was the last episode that we did that people are approaching. You know, in line. If you bought a lithograph, like, hey, you know, I have $100 right here for you if you want it. Where people like
Yeah.
look at anything like that? Like anyone approach you after? 'Cause
No.
those were high demand.
They are. Yeah, and I like the Fargo one the best. It's not it's not sports themed. So I kind of dug it when I saw it. I was like, oh, this one's not even sports themed, because the sports themed ones are cool, but it doesn't scream GNR like that white Fargo with the blood in the snow.
Yeah. The only
Yeah.
sports one that I've seen that is like GNR is the Michael Jordan with the head, because Axel.
Right.
Yeah,
The Chicago one. Yeah, that one was cool.
yeah, that's about it. But now, I mean, I see. I have again processing gifts and the good things happening to me.
I shouldn't have put you on the spot.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I want rapid reaction. So now I need to, as I move my camera up, I got to find more of a wall, because when I first started doing this feel my quarantine, not doing episodes in the radio studio and doing them in Zoom at home, I'm running out of room. I have no more room. I don't know. I gotta knock stuff down. I don't even have my pinball thing framed. It stays like in the corner over there, and I just put it up for the episodes. Wow.
It's really cool though.
I love I want to read that one comment on Twitter, which I think you would. It wasn't on Twitter. It was on YouTube. It was just basically calling me a fanboy, or for two other fanboys. Can I bring it up here? Nope, that's me talking. I probably should have brought it up right away, but I like the feeling of live radio. I can't find it. But it was just like calling me a fanboy, talking to two other fanboys. And that's kind of the point of what I want to do.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a professional. But I want to come off as one of you. Oh, I can't find it. This is why I need like an intern. So if anyone wants to do like free intern work for the AFD podcast, let me know. I can't just do it all myself. I do enough. Anyway. So you were there, you already got the lithograph, you got your shirts. When do you finally, well, you don't sit onto your seats, you're front row, right?
Right.
So you're holding the lithograph for the entire show, lithographs?
No, we ran it back to the hotel. We ran all the stuff back to the hotel.
Because we were literally right next door to the venue.
Yeah, so I didn't have to hold them. So we took it all back to the hotel, and then had a couple drinks there in the room, and then waited till about 5. The doors were at 5, and I think we got there perfect time of 5:15. They'd already, all the people who had lined up had already gone in, so we were able to just walk right through there, right through the metal detectors, get our wristbands, and walk right down there, stand right on the rail. I mean, literally probably 6 feet from Slash.
It was neat.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Wow, well, Erik, you're a true concert pro. You know where to stand. You know, like how to put, not carry your stuff all the way. You know what you're doing.
I do try to plan it out in advance. To know, this is the steps for the day. I need to know, be at this time, at this time, at this time, at this place, and try to get it fun for everyone.
Are you like that at all, Nikki, when you go to a show? Like when it's like it's your concert, or are you just there to have fun, or are you as regimented and planned?
I'm just there, and if it works out, it works out. I don't try to plan anything because I don't want to be disappointed. So I was there, just followed him. And we made it just the right spot. I had my Slash t-shirt on. Slash was playing just for me, right in front of me. He didn't smile, but he was smiling inside.
He was.
I know he was.
Yeah, and we met the couple in line, that Kim and Rick, and then another couple that was there next to us, Kathy and Dave. We met. They were also there, and I told Nikki, I was like, we just chit chat with people, and if we want to take a bathroom break or something, we'll hold their spot, they'll hold our spot. It worked out perfect. Met some new friends, and we got to talk to them during the intermission and before the show, and it was great.
Look at that buddy system. I
Yeah.
like it.
Both of those couples were going to the Montana show, so they were leaving North Dakota, going up there.
Yeah, if you don't have any Montana reviewers, I can. I did get with them on Facebook. Yeah. I'll tag them in on your post and see if they'd be willing, because they were super nice and also diehards. They've been to. I think they went to the New Jersey show that you were at, and then the Fargo in Montana.
Yeah, let them know. That's kind of the point of, while it's also obviously fun doing these fan reviews for you, the people who come on, the people who listen, but it's also to network. Hey, there's this show that not just talks Guns N' Roses, but wants to hear you talk about Guns N' Roses.
Right.
So it's paying it forward, and I think it's fun, especially like you guys are describing how I was after Hershey Park in New Jersey. You're feeling it for a few days, like you're just trying to get that energy out of you, like, oh, this is concert energy. So I completely get it, and it's a fun way to do it on the quote unquote radio.
It is. Yeah. Just to talk about it. Everybody at work. Well, I went back to work yesterday and everybody asked me, how was the show? How was the show? I'll probably talk to you for an hour about it if you let me, but
Now you'll just be like, listen to this podcast. Now you know what.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
So did you get there in time for Wolfgang when you finally settled in?
Yep.
Okay. How was he? How was that experience?
He was good. It wasn't.
I liked him. I bought the CD early because I wanted to, and I've been listening to it. I mean, that's how old I am. I have a CD player in my car, but I listened to I've been listening to it for nonstop for a few weeks, trying to get the songs, trying to learn them and know what was going to happen, what the set list was for Wolfie. And yeah, I thought he was great. I tell anybody, if you see this tour, you gotta go see Wolfie. Don't sit in the parking lot or don't stand at the beer stand. Go check out Wolfie because I thought he was amazing.
He was, and I'm glad I got to see him twice. But as we said earlier, trying to keep this as up to date as possible. They posted something yesterday that one of their touring personnel got COVID and just an extra abundance, and it was shortly before the show, I believe. So
Right.
it is disappointing. However, I tweeted this saying, you know what, I'm glad that they did this. They need to be cautious. Obviously, if sacrificing one show for the betterment of the tour and also the health of everybody, that's okay because Wolfgang is going to be around for a long time. Plenty of
Great.
opportunities to go see him. So while it could be frustrating, it sucked for the fans that went. It had to be done. This is just the world we live in. So that's why, I'm representing, trying to be smart, wear my mask in here. Although no one's around for me to get COVID in the house. I think so. I'll take it off my face and stop looking stupid. So, obviously we know, and I'm not going to keep making this joke as we keep doing these reviews. The opening act ends and you're not waiting, you're not doing your taxes before Guns N' Roses comes on. You don't need to take a nap. You're not, they come on time.
They did. So, yeah, they were actually early in Fargo. I think Wolfie started at 6:30, so we stood about an hour waiting on Wolfie, and he was done by 7:15 maybe, and 6:30 to 7. Yeah, I think 7:15. And
What did he play? 8 songs?
10 songs. I think he played 10 songs, 8 or 10 songs, and then yeah, I mean, we didn't have to wait long for GN'R. I told Nikki, I said I think it's probably still another hour for GN'R, but now they started that the animation and everything started going. I said, no, well, we're going now, and they came right out.
Supercharged, and it was amazing. I feel like Axl was having so much fun at that show. He looked excited, happy, and I don't know, the energy was amazing. It was so fun. I think it's one of the best shows I've ever been to.
What number show was this for you, Nikki?
For me, I've been to Miami, Lincoln, Denver,
Kansas City.
Next week we go to Los Angeles. So,
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so that's my 5th one.
Yeah, I think it's her 4th or 5th. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And Erik, I forget if I'm sure I've asked you. You're in double digits. Are you in?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be there by October, but yeah, not yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to throw a party when you hit 10.
Yeah.
I envy this. I'm glad you're doing this time. And what I did was my version of it, with traveling with the band or seeing multiple shows and the like. And it's fun. You see why people did it with the Grateful Dead.
Right.
But we
it's a good way for us to go out of town to see cities we normally wouldn't go to. I mean, we've never gone to Fargo together and seen Fargo. We'd never have gone to Miami together, but it gives you a good excuse to go see a new city, get out of town, do something together, and it's fun.
That's very true. I think I had to work the next day, which is why we didn't stay over at Hershey Park, because she's like, oh, I wanted to go go to Pittsburgh and all these places. So we'll do that at some point. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Is a chance. So that's why I like that they're going to these, not always the usual cities. I've been to Boston. Yeah, it's great to go there, but to go to Fargo, to go to Montana, these places you would never go to. I would never go to. I mean, they seem great, but you
No,
need that
yeah.
extra push to go to it. So I guess Erik, what was and Nikki, what were the highlights? Erik, the set list. Like, what were you looking for? And Nikki, I'm sure you're just, enjoying yourself. Or are you or as focused? Are you aware that there's gonna be a new song? What are your thoughts as It's So Easy finally,
He knows what their set list is. I know that they open with It's So Easy, and I know they end with Paradise City.
That's
But
it, right?
my highlight was when Duff came over and he was playing and he smiled at me, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I have lived.
Yeah.
Kind of loved it.
Did you say anything similar to what my fiance said? When we went to the Texas show, her first time seeing him, she's like, "Whoa, Duff is hot. Like, you should see his wife." And
Yeah.
and then last time she's like at New Jersey, she's like, "Axel looks good, but you know what? It's Duff. It's still Duff. Look like him when you're older." I'm like, okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any comments
The
like
first
that to
show we
Erik?
went to.
What's that, bud?
I was like, was there any comments like that to Erik? Or Erik, did you look at your
Oh, absolutely. At one of the shows, I'm like, look at Duff. He's looking for me. He's looking for me. And he's like, Nikki, he's married. And her name is Susan. And she was a model. And I'm like,
he's
I'm
getting
just
offended.
saying.
I love it. So I guess, Erik, what are you looking for? Well, Nikki, we got it. You got your internal smile from Slash. You got your external smile from Duff. You're
Yep.
enjoying yourself. But I guess, Erik, what do you?
Axel waved at Erik.
Yeah, you sent me that picture. When did
Yep.
Axel wave at you? Or was he waving at you? Or was he waving at the cute girl?
No, he
behind
was waving at him.
you? Okay.
Everybody they're in the black t-shirts, and I wear that old red Chinese Democracy era soccer jersey, so it kind of stands out, being a red in a sea of black. And I was standing right in the front, and he came over and he was standing there, I was leaning on the rail, but every time Axel would come over, I stood up, I wanted to look at him and, see him. He was 6 feet away from me. So, the closest I've ever been to him. And, and then I waved like an idiot at him, and I did like that. He did it right back to me. And I looked at her. I mean, I looked at her. I said, "You saw that, right? You saw it." He waved at me, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw it." So yeah, that was pretty cool. Just to get his attention, for a split second. Only a split second of his time, but I'll remember it forever.
That's funny. And because it wasn't you, somebody else. Because I retweeted what you sent me that Axel waved at you, and now because Nikki said so, I believe that he wasn't waving at her and he was waving at you. I thought initially, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Not
But
like the time when we were at a show and Vince Neil fist bumped me, but totally blew him off.
Yeah, she gave Vince Neil reached down to give fist bumps and gave her one. And I put my fist up, and he walked away and just left me hanging.
he knows where his bread is buttered. I love it.
Yeah. It's not with the dudes.
That's funny. Because I retweeted another listener tagged me in a photo they took. It might have been from the previous show at Detroit where Axel was waving, and I retweeted. I'm like, I've seen so many pictures of Axel doing like the 2-hand wave or the wave. He's become so wavy since the reunion. I guess that's good. I mean, I've just never. You look back at old footage, he's not waving. I mean, he's shaking his arms like angrily, but now he's just like, "Hi." He's like,
I thought the same thing. I'm like, it's so different. Back in the day, the only thing he would acknowledge you is if you flipped him off. You flip him off, he's gonna come at you. But you wave, he didn't pay it no mind. But I think I don't know. I think maybe he missed us being locked up for the last year like we all did. So just being out there waving at us and stuff. I think it's really cool.
That is cool. Yeah. No, that's one of the best things, and you can tell talking to you two and all the fans I've spoken to, and it's affecting me. His mood on the stage affects everybody else, and when he's having a good time, everybody's having a good time.
I agree.
It's shocking. how much power I guess he has. I mean, he can, maybe go through the motions and you can feel it. Not to say that that's happened, but it's palpable when he's smiling and, when he did the Just a Friend thing in New Jersey and
Right.
he's even doing it during November Rain and you see Slash looking over and smiling. So it's affecting the band. It's just a totally different dynamic, which is just fascinating. It really is. As somebody I had never experienced that old GNR, the dangerous GNR, and just have
Uh-huh.
seen that on documentaries or TV. This is not your mom and dad's Guns N' Roses, and it
No,
doesn't
definitely
bother
not.
anybody. So I guess what were the other than the wave? What were maybe the song highlights for you since you've either of you? Like, what were some of the song highlights that you're like, oh wow, it felt so good to hear this, or he sounded good on this, or Slash the solo on this was stood out to me. Any song favorites?
Go ahead.
Now I'm a Mr. Brownstone. Oh, that's my favorite by them. Rock Queen is awesome. It was a whole different story being right down there in front. It was so different. Everything was exciting. I don't know. They put on such an amazing show. I cannot wait for next week now. And everybody at my work's like, you're going to how many Guns N' Roses shows? I'm like 5 in 3 months. I know, 5. And now I'm like, get me to the next one. Like, I cannot wait.
That's how I felt after Hershey Park. I couldn't wait to go to New Jersey. And now,
Yeah.
I'm living vicariously through you because unless Atlantic City goes down in price, that's it for me for this year. So I guess what about you, Erik? The more hardened Guns N' Roses fan, the one that's harder to impress, the one that has standards. What were your song favorites?
He has no standards.
I loved hearing the new song. I think you and I have spoken how much we both love that new song. So, and Axl said, we have a new song, and if you don't like it, tough, we're gonna play it anyways. And and they played it, and it sounded amazing. It's I thought the new song was great. I really liked Slash's solo in Rocket Queen. It was pretty extended. It was almost like that Rocket Queen on the Roxy CD with Miles Kennedy, where he stretches the solo out for 5 or 6 minutes, and it was just like, he can keep going. And she said to me, she said, I don't know how his fingers don't get so tired, but he was great on Rocket Queen. I thought the whole set was great. Axl talking between songs, we've seen him come out there, he doesn't say a word, just song, good night, and he doesn't talk to the crowd. He's done that, but he was talking about, when they did Wichita Lineman, he talked about Glenn Campbell. He did a couple jokes about Samuel L. Jackson when he did the You Could Be Mine. This is your WGNR, and we're playing too many light songs. Some kind of joke like that. He was he was fun. He had a blast up there. It's literally the most fun I've ever seen Axl have on stage.
That's cool. That is cool. And that's something that has changed this time around. Because Axl would just go since the reunion. All right, you know what? Maybe every time I've seen him since, other than maybe like 2002, it was kind of just come out song, maybe a few words, but he's been more chatty, and I think people appreciate that. We want to hear from him, and especially when he's telling jokes. He's not complaining about anything other than maybe some sound problems that have happened. But yeah, he's been joking, and it's people want to hear it. Usually sometimes with an artist, you're just like shut up and sing, like he says in Sorry. Sing, but I also want to hear you talk. And he's funny, and I want to hear these stories from Uncle Axl. Oh, and before I forget, so I can make fun of my former co-host, yet still current friend. So Erik, when we were met up at MetLife, and we were in different seats, so I don't know what his viewpoint was, but he texted me the other day. He's like, "So I was making a big deal about the set list, always seeing the same thing, but I was in the bathroom for Absurd, and I didn't even get to see it." I'm like, bro, come on. He's like, I left during Duff's song. I'm like, during the Stooges song. I'm like, hey, that's one of the highlights also, him doing that. He's like, well, when am I supposed to go to the bathroom? I don't know. You don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
We didn't.
We
Once the
didn't.
show started, we just stayed.
Exactly.
We stopped drinking.
See, that's the
That's it.
key.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to start asking that because Erik, I think you've laid a good foundation about what rules, do's and don'ts do you have for going to a concert. Me, I normally have like a bladder of an 80-year-old man. I'm going all the time, but once just before that concert starts, I won't even eat an apple on the way in. Anything that could possibly go into my bladder, nope, 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 nope. I'm not doing any of that. Maybe some sips of water so I don't dehydrate. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right.
But yeah, no, there's no going to the bathroom. You know, that's
No.
so.
No.
Well, we weren't losing those spots last week.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We got right up there on the rail, and I said, I had a White Claw in hand, and I said, you know what, this is the last one. I threw it away. I said, that's it. We were talking to the couples next to us, saving the spots and stuff, and I was like, this isn't gonna work once GN'R comes on. So that was it. We just no bathroom breaks. Just
No.
you got to stand there, get some good shoes, and just hold on for the ride. It'll be over in 3 hours or so.
There was quite a few discussions of depends going on in that front row. A lot of people were talking about how maybe they should have invested.
People have done that. Not to say that I have. Well, maybe I should say I've. I think I did this in Velvet Revolver. Maybe I didn't,
Okay.
I've never said it. I peed in a cup and I just put it like in front of me. I was up against the railing and
Yeah.
nobody could see. I'm a
Right.
short guy and I just, I found an empty beer cup and just
There you
hopefully nobody drank it thinking it was beer. So
Yeah.
that was as far as I went. But yeah, do what you got to do so you don't do. Oh, sorry, I should have.
Right.
I should have left that. I should have
Girls
left it
don't
in my
have
head.
that luxury though, of a
That-
sneak
yeah.
peek.
That
You
is
do not get a sneak peek, so you just got to hold it.
That is true. That is true. My fiance has done that. She's like, I with her, it doesn't matter. She could fight her way anywhere. With me, once I have my place, I'm not moving. She's like, oh, I'll go back. Is make sure, give me the ticket because I'll have the tickets on my phone so I can get back in after she gets her alcohol, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I wanted to ask though, because as we referred to before about masks being in close quarters during the merchandising. What about up front? Is there any hesitation with people, or are there people just still pushing? Like it was still pre-COVID, like people were pushing.
It was pre-COVID. Nobody had.
I think we saw 2 people in there with wearing masks, but
Yeah, I think I saw Del James and Tom Mayhew on the side. I saw Yarmo walk by and Kat. They were all masked, but like the people in the stands or in the pit, no, nobody was. It was just like pre-COVID.
Well, as they say, which is, Axel, he's obviously controversial. I don't think it would really do any disservice to talk about masking if he wants to, because he was all political for a while. But it can help encourage people, especially since here in New York, you have to be vaccinated to eat inside. It sucks. It really does. And I understand people who don't want to get vaxxed. I mean, I'm not going to preach it, but it was, I saw this meme going around saying, maybe you don't want to get vaxxed and you don't necessarily have to think about the band, but think about all the crew members that have to be constantly tested and getting swabbed every day. And, and they have to work in masks. And I get it. It's hard, especially when you're in the pit wearing a mask, trying to breathe. You just do the best you can for yourself and for everybody else. And hopefully, Mammoth won't miss too many shows, and GN'R keeps going. You can go to all 5 shows. That's kind of, it's
that's
the
knocking
hope.
on,
that's the hope.
knocking on wood.
Prepared to show our group, and
Yeah, we brought our vaccine cards in
Mm.
case, we're going to go see them in Milwaukee also. And that one, you have to show the proof to bring
Okay.
it, to go into Milwaukee. You get to show your vaccine card, which I'm fine with. The minute we could get it, I said to her, let's go get this, because I don't want to be shut out of any shows this summer or this fall, because we don't have this.
I was hesitant to get it. I was nervous. I was scared. But if I knew that the blame was going to get laid on me for ruining the summer, I was like, fine, I'll get it. I mean, my dad's one of my best friends. He's 83 and,
Yeah.
everything's been fine. So.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I don't need to go off on a tangent about it, but I know I got it pretty early, but my fiance got it even earlier because she's a dance teacher with little kids, and it's just
Yeah.
you gotta figure out how to do it. She's teaching on Zoom. She's teaching in our living room. It was a nightmare for her, and I'm like this with all doctors. You really got to push me to go, or something's got to be falling off. She's like, go. I want to travel this summer. I want to go to concerts. Get it. So I was in your position, Nikki. I didn't want to be the one to ruin the summer. So I'm like, all right, I got it. But yeah, you may need, and especially now, whether it's your cards, was it the Excelsior app? I believe that that
Yeah, and
has
then the Clear app,
the
and
Clear
there's all
app,
these different things.
all these different things, which may happen for concerts going forward. For the New Jersey and Hershey Park shows, it was just metal detectors. That was it.
Yeah.
Which is always interesting for me because I'm like, are they going to think my cane is a sword? Because I don't know if I'm a handicap, Nikki. I have see my little handicap tattoo. So I have I walk with a cane and leg braces. So you never know, because this has happened to me before, that they think like the cane is a weapon. And they always ask in airports. They're very cautious. They have like their own airport cane to give to me, so they can put the cane through the machine and check to
Because
see.
they watched a lot of movies where
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, I will say I don't carry it around with me for that reason, but I do have a sword cane. I do, but it's obvious. It has like a wolf head. It looks like something like Jafar would have, or something like that. It looks like a sword cane from the outside. But yeah, so I just see it. It'll be interesting going forward again, and I know not all fans are for it, but all vaccines at one point were experimental, and again, do what's best for you and the family. And if you feel like, hey, I don't want to get it, maybe don't go to the show. Maybe go
Agreed.
when
Agreed.
maybe go when COVID's over.
Just be glad we have doctors and smart people out there who can make that kind of a thing, because
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
I'm always asking because I don't. Yeah, we all supposed to have our general practitioner doctor, our general doctor, which I don't see enough, but I still have to see my cat allergist every other week. So I'm asking her about it, and she tells us she's up to date. The allergy shots, the allergist knows everything that's going on. So I trust her. She's a very smart woman. So that's if you're going to protect me from cats, I assume she's also going to protect me from COVID. That's good to know. So Erik, any other highlights other than seeing Absurd? Anything that
Maybe getting Richard's pick.
Okay.
When Richard came dancing over right there in front of us, and I stood up and I was waving at him, and I could, he was right there in front of me, and he took those new clear green picks that everybody's been going crazy for, and he flicked me one. So getting that was kind of cool. Just the whole set list, everything. I will say I do miss the pyro, like when Live and Let Die comes on and there's no pyro, and I miss the pyro, but other than that, I'm sure you saw, no confetti, no pyro, but other than that, kind of stripped down. But I thought they absolutely killed it, and I think they're just gaining steam, getting back into the groove.
Where does this rank for you as far as how many shows have you seen? 7, 8.
This would be my 6th or 7th.
Okay.
I'd have to, Denver. 6th or 7th. I'd have to count. I'd have to look.
That's all right.
Yeah, I would put that one right up there at the top. Yeah, definitely the best GN'R show I've seen was definitely this one in Fargo.
Wow. Oh wow. Okay, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, the Miami one at the Super Bowl, we went down there. That was my birthday. Was that day. So I said, let's go down there for my birthday. It was the Super Bowl. I had a couple friends in town who were also there, not to see GN'R. They wanted to see the Super Bowl or just be around the Kansas City Chiefs and stuff. And that was fun. But I would definitely say that this was the highlight.
Wow. That's high.
Even without the pyro.
All right. Wow. Okay. Nikki, I mean, again, you're not as you love them, but you don't have the standards, the same standards. I mean, you're excited. So it's got to be up there for you too.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it was the best one any of them I've seen. At Lincoln, we had the VIP and we had the backstage and all that. But I would rank only because of where we stood, the energy at the show, the crowd around us. I mean, a lot of people were our age, so there was no pushing up there. None. No pushing, no shoving. It
Okay.
was
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I've been in the pit for some Motley Crue shows, you know, where there are people flying over you, kicking you in the head, and a lot of shoving, and you know, Tommy Lee handing out the Jägermeister and all sorts of crazy stuff at the crew. But I thought, you know, I was like, oh, we'll see how GNR does it this post-COVID in the pit, and everybody was cool. Everybody was polite. Everybody in Fargo was nice. There was no fighting. Security didn't really have to do anything. Somebody threw a bra up on the stage, and
somebody threw dirty underwear.
or a bra. I don't know what it
I
was.
don't know. It was gross. They got kicked out.
Yeah, and security was on them right away. And I don't know if they kicked them out or if they told them, you know, you can't throw shit on the stage. But yeah, it landed right over there, and I saw Slash kick it, and then Tom Mayhew ran over there and picked it up and tossed it off the side. But I saw security on them. Yeah.
That's your job, Tom Mayhew, to pick up someone's dirty drawers. And how did that happen? So
Poor
that was
Tom.
somebody. So was that somebody like who didn't get the Depends? All
Yeah.
right, so maybe this is now you have to get
It
the
doesn't
Depends.
look like Depends.
I couldn't tell if it was a bra or underwear or what it was, but I saw security on them pretty quick, telling them, you know, you can't throw stuff onto the stage.
They didn't go get the people with the bras. So that's why I was thinking this one was,
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
Someone's tidy whities or
I
something.
mean, if you were buying nice bras, you don't throw them. That shit's expensive.
You're right. Yeah. Right. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this was cool. So I know I've asked Erik this before since he's been on, but Nikki, do you have like a favorite piece of Guns N' Roses memorabilia or favorite T-shirt? You know, did Erik ever give you the like a
Eric's
GN'R?
my favorite Guns N' Roses memorabilia.
There you go. There you go. That's the answer. Look at
Did he
that.
ever tell you about his Axel tattoo?
No.
He's got a WWAD with Axel.
You do?
What would Axel do? Yeah.
Is it TV friendly? Where can I say? Is it like a tramp stamp? Where is it?
No, it's on my leg. I did it in the Navy when I was in Singapore, probably like 2001, 2002, something like that. Yeah.
Axel with his long hair and his 22 jersey.
Yeah, it was a picture from the Wembley show, the Freddie Mercury.
Can we see it? Is it would it be hard to show? Or do you
Yeah,
want-
it'd be kind of hard to show right now. I'm wearing pants, but
take a picture of it and
Sure.
if you don't mind, and then I want to share that, or at least just let me
Sure.
see it, because that sounds cool. And you know what? First thing that popped in my head, I hope we get to tell Axel that story one day.
oh, I'd love
To show
to.
it or to show it to Axel.
Yeah.
All right, look
Yeah.
at you.
I do
You're
have
more kind of-
the bad apples.
You do. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is your third time on. You've become like more GNR obsessed each time. Like I had no idea like, how diehard you were.
He just didn't give it all away. See, and now I'm here to spill it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Just don't tell.
While you're here, then let me ask: Does he have any? Was it his underwear? Did he throw the underwear?
I'm not going to tell that
No.
because they kicked somebody else out for it. So,
But no Guns N' Roses boxer shorts for you or anything like that.
No, no.
Okay, I've never done that either. I think that's
No.
socks might be as far as I go.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah.
it was Erik. It was fun to have you on again. I'm sure I'll have you on. You know, I want to get other people to do
Sure.
reviews, but you know, co-hosting and you know, who knows? Maybe if you guys want to do a couple date, who was it? It was who was name one of the couples you were on? It was Jim and
Dave
Kim
and
or
Kathy.
Oh
David
yeah,
and-
Dave and Kathy and
Kim and Rick.
Kim and Rick. They were the couples to our left and to our right, and then we found them on Facebook and been watching their posts from Montana. They're both those couples are in Montana. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna tag them in on your Facebook and see if maybe if they know about the podcast or if they want to review.
Cool. And again, that invite's open to anybody as long as this tour keeps going, which I hope it does. I don't want to keep I don't want to cast any sort of a negative juju out there over it, but he was kind of being realistic about it. So any show that you're going to, and I hope this tour goes to, I guess, to a point where we're going overseas again, because I'm getting excited. I'm like, what if I talk to a fan? Yeah, I've had fans from other countries on as part of Fan Obsession, but to have somebody in, India or Israel come on and give a show, a review from that show, I think that would just be an awesome experience. So I want this tour to continue for so many different reasons.
For sure. There's going back to that, there was a guy getting in touch with me. I had mentioned online that I had a couple Fargo lithographs, and I was like, well, I got one for me, I got one for Brando, and then I had another one, and I think his name is Marco. He reached out to me and he's like, dude, I would love to have it if you don't mind shipping it to the UK. And he said, I've seen you on Brando's podcast, you and Ginger. And he said, yeah, I watch all of Brando's podcasts. And he said, how much he loves your podcast too. So, just I know there would be quite you had that guy from Greece. Where was the guy from Greece?
Was that Connie? I want to say.
Yeah.
Because I was re-listening. I've been posting as I'm trying to promote this new Twitter, just going back and finding some old interview clips to post on there. And I think Connie was the one who co-hosted my second interview with Brain. I believe.
Yeah, that's the one. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was listening to it on the plane.
Yeah. For anybody, go back and listen to it. He said, especially now, it's interesting to hear what he says. Talking about what we now know is Silkworm's absurd. Like he's like, yeah, there was this punk song and I couldn't get it right. And it's just very interesting to go back and listen to some of these interviews, given where we are now. So yeah, that's cool, Erik. And I'm sure it was cool for you to be like, hey, I saw you on that episode, interviewing, which is an experience. And that's what I'm doing here with you, to you today, Nikki, is I want to give this radio podcast experience to people, especially, if there's a rock star involved, because I'm not one, it's even more exciting. So who knows? Oh, I didn't ask you this, Nikki. Then who's your favorite band then? I guess if it's not Guns N' Roses, who's your number one?
My number one. I don't know. My very first concert I ever went to was Metallica.
Okay.
So, and I still have my concert t-shirt from that. And that was when I was 16. So 32 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
So I love Metallica, Anthrax. I love Guns N' Roses. I love, oh my gosh, so many.
Yeah.
We've seen so many great bands together. We've been to so many shows here. Buck Cherry is a lot of fun, and Beautiful Creatures, and
awesome.
Yeah. I don't have one specific favorite because he gets mad at me when he gets in my car and I have Hip Hop Nation on. I listen to a variety. Sometimes I'm a gangster. Sometimes I'm the 70s channel. It just depends on my vibe that day.
Right on.
I will pop one.
Oh, you're a little bit more stable than Erik and I, who we're a little too obsessed. But
I agree.
That's okay. That's okay. Oh, I love it. So again, it's just giving people their experiences, and you're giving me an experience talking to you. So this is just a fun way to meet all through this GN'R themed bar mitzvah party of a broadcast. I will tell you guys now, I guess it's breaking news on the AFD front, or the guest front, I guess I should say. I'm afraid to announce it because it hasn't gotten the official dotted line or whatever.
Oh, here we go.
Jerry Cantrell.
Oh, no way.
They're hopefully going to get Jerry
Congrats,
Cantrell.
brother.
They're telling me next Thursday at 3:00 is where I'm going to be taping with him, for like a half an hour. And it's just the way I am until something happens, until I see him, something can go awry. But
sure,
yeah, that could happen. So Jerry Cantrell should be the next big guest. I already announced Matt Sorum going to be happening.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Next month he's going to be back on the podcast. So very exciting. So while these fan interviews are so much fun, and they really are, there's no pressure. I don't feel like I'm going to ask the wrong question. I'm not going to get yelled at by indirectly by GN'R management. By talking to you guys. But of course, to get on some big names is fun, and what has helped elevate me to this point where people like Erik and people from the UK know who I am.
Yeah,
so I had to get some people on the podcast first. So anyway, now I'm just rambling because I'm excited to talk to you. See, Erik, you're like, I can talk about this for an hour.
I could. Yeah.
I'm doing that, and
Yeah.
it's a problem. So stay tuned for the next guests. As far as again reviews, if you want to review an upcoming show, hit me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, new Twitter at the AFD Podcast. You can watch this episode if you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet. YouTube channel, slowly but surely, we're approaching that 1,000 subscriber mark. I was late on that game. I've been late in all these games. I'm glad I've been able to accomplish what I've been able to accomplish.
Yeah,
So,
you're doing it.
Trying, and Erik, thank you for RoboCop. I still don't know how to process that. Thank you.
Yeah.
When's the next episode? When's the next review of the AFD show? Well, in the words of Axl Rose concerning Chinese democracy, you'll see it. I don't know if soon is the word.